to those who are following this mass through streaming or they're in the other room. Okay? So that's good. I hope the system is working and you can listen what I'm going to say, but don't worry, it's not very important, so don't worry if you don't listen. Okay, saying all these things that I have to say, if not, our brothers will get upset because I didn't say everything I have to say. Let me remember what I have to say. I have to remember I have a camera. It's not easy. Today is the 15th Sunday, and the three readings talks about being chosen, God's choice and purpose for us as His or her disciples. Just being chosen. And in the first reading, He chose a man called Amos, a shepherd, simple fellow. Why? Well, God is God, He can choose anyone He wants, but why? Basically because, but He chose Amos to be His prophet in that particular circumstances. Why? Because those who were the prophets were contaminated with the power, with money, and they were corrupted. So they were not preaching, they were not prophesying, they were not speaking God's word, because we're tied to money, to power, to corruption. And when we tie our hands with corruption, with money, with people's blood, then we cannot speak God's word. And I think all of us can understand that from our own countries, from our own experiences. So here's God choosing somebody anew, again, trusting the person that his integrity will lead him to preach. Not because his wisdom, because God said, don't worry, I will give you the wisdom, the grace. But I need your integrity. Will be tested through the way you preach, you share the good news. The integrity of life. Second, and they say, what does a prophet do? And other times, when I was younger, I would put in a very difficult situation to the seminarian. Could you tell us what a prophet does? But I'm old now. I'm learning not to do that. Okay? So I think, besides me because I'm older, I'm wiser. But by the way, what does it do? I don't want to put. It's two things. Announce the good news, to preach the good news, and to denounce or to share what is not right, what is happening and is not good. And that's the reason the prophets are not well loved. Because if somebody will be telling you what is not right, what you're doing or you are not doing is the right thing to do. Just those people that are comfortable, they're not nice. Because nobody wants to hear, hey, you're doing this, hey, you're doing that, and it's not according to God's will. also a disciple. And you and us, all of us are disciples. Jesus' disciples. God's disciples. I guess all of us, we have been chosen by God to preach the good news. It happens that I am with the microphone. But I would love sometimes that some of you get the microphone for a couple of minutes and tell us what God is telling you, to teach us, to preach to us. Because all of us has the grace and the wisdom that God gave us in the day of our baptism. So I would love to give you the microphone and be sitting there for a couple of minutes to listen. So as disciples are chosen, we have a responsibility. And now the responsibility we have is said, it was said in the gospel, in the good news that I read. The first part is the conflict about being a good prophet and a chosen one. God wisdom, God grace, your integrity. God needs you. Second part is, okay, what do we have to do? I said preaching the good news and also presenting what is not good that people are doing, or all of us are doing. But in the gospel, it comes with three. I have to read my notes. I'm getting old and forgetting. To do some jobs. Three. I will mention three. The first one is to preach, to share the good news. While you have experience, not what is in the book, it's your experience, your God experience, how God had touched your heart. The second, these are nice clothes, by the way. And just I'm doing this to remember the second, okay? Because I don't know why it's not there. All tricks is to heal, to bring healing to other people. When do you heal somebody? It's not just physical healing. It's emotional healing, psychological healing, spiritual healing. You do that, I do that, we do that. When we listen to somebody, not when we give the solution, because that is a Panadol, an aspirin. It doesn't work except for a mild headache. But something that we need to learn is to listen. Because people don't listen. We don't listen. We just hear to reply, but not to listen. So when somebody comes with a problem, or a situation, a difficulty, or life sharing, and we start thinking, what I want to tell this person to make her feel good. But you're not listening. Or we are not listening. It happens to me sometimes and most of my times. Just preaching, listening is part of the healing process. When we have a problem and we want to share it with somebody, and we know that the person is not listening, we stop talking. Like what I should be doing now. Okay? Thank you. He supported me. He said, yes, brother. Yes, thank you. One, listening, which is good. And the third thing is form community. There is no Christianity without community. There are good people, but no Christians. Like Jesus said, Jesus gathered them, sent them, and listened to them when they were back and said, what happened there? Form community. No Christianity without community. So it's pretty simple what I wanted to say today. You are the disciples, the chosen one. You have a task to be done. God give you the grace, God give you the wisdom. Your integrity is what God needs. To do three things: to preach, to heal, to form community. Amen. Before he said, Father.
Marikit na dalangin ko, kang magbigay ng kulay sa aking mundo.